Hey, good morning, everybody. It looks like the video is recording. So listen, part of your assignment today is to watch this video, but you don't have to watch it to do the assignment. Um, if you watch it, it will tell you the answers to the assignment. So maybe that will be helpful to you, but you might want to do it on your own. I don't know. So anyway, I hope everybody had a good snow day and got a lot of snow. We didn't really get as much as I thought we would, but we had enough to slide down the hill, so that was fun. But anyway, um, okay, so let me show you what we got to do. No matter what class you're in, whether you're in English 1, I'm sorry, English 4, or speech, my elective class, first, second, or third block, the assignment is the same, and it is a WebQuest assignment. It's not hard. It's basically a reading comprehension assignment where you have to go to a website, you read what's on that website, and then you answer a question in a document. And it's about Hercules. It's the 12 labors of Hercules. Something kind of fun to switch gears from whatever we've been doing. Because if you're in English 4, we just finished up the Dark Ages and the Anglo-Saxons and the Middle Ages, which is the Canterbury Tales. We're finishing that up. We're about to move into the Renaissance, which is Shakespeare. If you're in speech, we're finishing up Sherlock Holmes and getting more into units 1 and 2 are the logic of public speaking. So it's more rhetorical appeals, logical things like this. Anyway, we're finishing Sherlock Holmes. We have one more thing to read, but then we're going to start reading some of Hamlet. So it's going to be some drama. So either way, it's Shakespeare. So that's good. Unit 2 has got a bunch of Shakespeare stuff in it. So this really has nothing to do with any of that, but it is a way to, it's kind of a break, honestly, and it's fun. It's actually an enjoyable activity. So let me show you where to find it. So any class you go to, right now I'm in first block. I'm going to go to the e-learning folder. I'm also going to put up an announcement or a discussion, and all this will be in the discussion. Anyway, go to e-learning, and it says e-learning 2/22/26. When you open it up, it looks like this. So I have it already started. To get to the 12 Labors website to complete the web quest, you go here, and this pops up. So let me show you the first page. And the first question says, who made Hercules go crazy? What are the 12 labors of Hercules a punishment for? So I click on the website. The goddess Hera, determined to make trouble for Hercules, made him lose his mind. In a confused and angry state, he killed his own wife and children. When he awakened from his temporary insanity, Hercules was shocked and upset by what he'd done. He prayed to the god Apollo for guidance, and the god's oracle told him he would have to serve Eurystheus, the king of Tiryns and Mycenae, for 12 years in punishment for the murders. So I can answer number 1, and I can answer number 2. So he was being punished for murdering his family, right? All right, then we got to go to the lion. King Eurystheus decided that for his final task, Hercules should bring him the blank of a lion. To kill the lion, if no blade could pierce his hide. How was Hercules able to kill the lion? Okay, let me go to the lion. So then we go to the lion. Initially, Hercules was required to complete 10 labors, not 12. King Eurystheus decided Hercules' first task would be to bring him the skin of an invulnerable lion, which terrorized the hills around Nemea. Setting out on such a seemingly impossible labor, Hercules came to a town called Cleonae, where he stayed at the house of a poor workman for hire, Molorchus. When his host offered to sacrifice an animal to pray for a safe lion hunt, Hercules asked him to wait 30 days. If the hero returned with a lion's skin, they would sacrifice to Zeus, king of the gods. If Hercules died trying to kill the lion, Malorchus agreed to sacrifice instead to Hercules as a hero. Okay, so he's got to bring back the skin of a lion. Let's see. Skin. Easy. How was Hercules able to kill the lion if no blade could pierce its hide? Alright. When Hercules got to Nemea and began tracking the terrible lion, he soon discovered his arrows were useless against the beast. Hercules picked up his club and went after the lion. Following him back to a cave which had two entrances, Hercules blocked one of the doorways, then approached the fierce lion through the other. Grasping it in his mighty arms, ignoring its claws, he held it tightly and choked it to death. Hercules brought the lion back. Alright, it doesn't really say how he got his skin. He did choke it to death. Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay, easy. He used the lion's teeth to skin the lion, to get the skin off, but it doesn't tell you that in here. The question doesn't ask that, though. The question says, how was Hercules able to kill the lion if no blade could pierce it? He choked it, right? Or he crushed its neck or something. Alright, number 5, the Hydra is done for you. What happened each time Hercules cut off one of the Hydra's heads? And how did Aeolus help Hercules kill the Hydra? So the Hydra, let's go to that one. The Hydra was a 7-armed octopus, like a snake. And every time Hercules would cut one of its head off, 2 more, I think, would grow back in its place. But eventually what they figured out is that if Aeolus could cauterize the wound with a torch, then the Hydra's head would not grow back. And that's how they were able to defeat it. There was 8 immortal heads and 1 immortal one. Okay, cool. Alright, number 7. What kind of animal is a hind? Whose sacred animal is it? Why didn't it die from being shot? Okay, hold on. The hind. A hind is simply a female red deer. Not only that, the deer was sacred to the goddess of hunting and the moon, Diana. Alright, so the hind is a red female deer. Diana, goddess of hunting. Why didn't the hind die from being shot? Okay, let me go back. Realizing that the deer was about to get away, Hercules shot her just as she was about to cross the stream. He caught the deer, put her on his shoulders, and turned back to Mycenae. As Hercules hurries on his way. Okay, so oh, here it is. Diana let go of her anger and healed the deer's wounds. So that's how we know the deer didn't get killed. Okay. Diana healed its wounds. Alright, the boar. What kind of creature were Pholus and Chiron? Why were the other centaurs mad at Hercules? This is going to be easy because I know that's probably this. How did Hercules capture the boar? Alright, let's go. I remember this was a party. The fourth labor, Eurystheus ordered Hercules to bring him the Erythmian boar alive. He's a wild pig with a bad temper and big tusks. He lived on a mountain. Every day the boar would come crashing down from the mountain cave, attacking men and animals all over town, and destroying everyone. On his way to hunt the boar, Hercules stopped to visit Pholus, who was a friend who was a centaur and lived near this cave. So they ate some food. When Hercules asked for wine, Pholus said that he was afraid to open the wine jar because it was all the centaur's wine. But Hercules went ahead and opened it and drank their wine. So then all the other centaurs smelled the wine. And they started coming to the cave. And they tried to fight Hercules, I guess. They were angry. And Hercules started throwing sticks from the fire at them. They all fled in different directions. One of the centaurs, Chiron, received a wound that no medicine would heal. While Hercules was gone, Pholus pulled an arrow from the body of one of the dead centaurs. He wondered that so little a thing could kill such a big creature. Suddenly the arrow slipped from his hand, it fell onto his foot, and killed him on the spot. So when Hercules returned, he found Pholus dead. He buried his centaur friend. Alright, hold on, let me go. This is a lot. Centaurs. Easy. Number 11, he drank their wine. It was like their shared wine. Alright, how did he capture the boar? Okay, back. Wasn't too hard for Hercules to find the boar. He could hear it snorting and rooting around. He chased the boar round and round the mountain. It hid in a thicket. He poked his spear in there and it ran exhausted into a deep patch of snow. Then he put it in a net. Okay. Oh, that was pretty easy. Alright. Hercules cornered the boar in a thicket and then chased it into a deep patch of snow where he was able to net it in a net. Alright, let's see. Pausing for a second. It's not. Alright, the video is resuming. Back to the thing. The stables. How long did Hercules have to clean the stables of thousands of animals? Number 14. What does Hercules demand as payment for cleaning out the stables in one day? Number 15. How did Hercules manage to clean them out in one day? I remember this one almost completely, but let's go to it. For the fifth labor, Eurystheus ordered Hercules to clean up King Aegeus' stables. Hercules knew the job was smelly and dirty. He had more cattle than anyone in Greece. Aegeus was very rich. He had all kinds of animals. This was not just a few stables. It was like thousands of stalls in these stables with all these animals. And he said he would clean out the stables in one day if Aegeus would give him a tenth of his cattle. Aegeus was like, there's no way you can do that, so I promise. Hercules brought along Aegeus' son to watch. First thing he did, Hercules, was tore a big opening in the wall of the cattle yard where the stables were. Then he made another opening in the wall on the other side. Then he dug wide trenches to two rivers which flowed nearby. And he altered the course of the rivers so that all the water from the rivers would rush through the stables, flushing them out all at once. So he was smart. Um, Aegeus decided not to pay Hercules because he found out why he was doing all this. But then they went to a judge, and the judge ordered um, Aegeus to pay him anyway because his son testified against him. All right, so that should be it. How long did? Oh, one day. That's an easy one, right? What does Hercules demand as payment? 1/10. Yes, cattle. He rerouted two rivers. All right. What was Hercules' plan to drive away the birds? After Hercules returned, Eurystheus came up with an even more difficult task. Hercules was to drive away an enormous flock of birds, which gathered at a lake near the town of Stymphalos. Okay. So Athena helped him. So she made him a pair of bronze quartola, which are like noisemakers. They were made by Hephaestus, so they were awesome. So he climbed a mountain. He clashed the quartola, which scared the birds. And then, as they flew away, he shot them with a bow and arrow or a slingshot. It's kind of more than one version of the story. That was easy. All right. Um, so he used noisemakers. Say that. Who made Hephaestus? He shot them. Let's just say he shot them. All right, the bull, the Cretan bull. This is great. The Cretan bull is a messed up story because the king of Minos refused to sacrifice this bull to Poseidon, even though Poseidon gave it to him. And so Poseidon cursed him by making the bull, not only he made the bull go crazy, he made Minos' wife Pasiphae fall in love with the bull to the point where she wanted to have a baby with it. And then she did, and that baby became the Minotaur. Right, to the bull. We're almost done. Let me see. Who did Minos? Oh, I already told you the whole story. Okay. Minos, the Cretan bull, Poseidon. Duh. Why didn't Minos sacrifice the bull? Hold on, let me make sure. But Minos thought it was too beautiful. Okay. He thought it too beautiful. How did Poseidon respond to his promise of being broken? What did he do? Oh, his promise being broken. He was furious. In anger, he made the bull rampage and caused Pasiphae to fall in love with the animal. Gross. Let's see. He was so enraged that he made the bull rampage and made Minos wife, Pasiphae, love with it as well. And then they made the Minotaur, half man, half bull, monster. What did Eurystheus do with the bull when Hercules brought it back? I don't remember. Let's see. Oh, he let it go free. Why? Just terrorized everyone. Theseus finally tied it up, though. Okay. He killed it at Marathon. So good job for Theseus. Um, he let it go. That's crazy. All right, next is the horses. Man-eating horses. All right, the horses. After Hercules had captured the Cretan bull, Eurystheus sent him to go get the man-eating mares of Diomedes and bring them back. According to Polydorus, Hercules sailed with the volunteers across the Aegean to Bistonia. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, so there Hercules and his companions overpowered the Groans who were tending the horses and drove them into the sea. But then the Bistones realized what was happening and they sent some soldiers to recapture them. And so Hercules entrusted the mares to a young man named Abderos. They killed him. Well, they didn't eat him, though. They dragged him around. Alright, so then Hercules had a fight with the Bistones, killed Diomedes, and then he founded a city there, Abdera, in honor of Abderos. Then he took the horses back to Eurystheus, and Eurystheus also set them free again. It makes you wonder why he did that. They wandered around until they got to Olympus, and then when they got to Olympus, they got eaten by wild animals or beasts, which kind of goes to show you anything against nature gets taken care of by nature, you know? All right. Okay. That was pretty simple. They eat. What is so interesting about them is they eat human flesh and their horses. He let them go again. All right, the belt. Whose belt was Hercules charged had to steal? I remember this. What was interesting about the gender of the warriors? Who gave the Queen of Amazons the belt? What deity got the Amazons riled up and encouraged them to kill Hercules? And how did he eventually get the belt? Alright, so let's go back to the belt. For the ninth labor, Eurystheus ordered Hercules to bring him the belt of Hippolyta. 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 Hippolyta was the queen of the Amazons. The Amazons lived apart from men. They were warriors. If they ever gave birth to men, they killed them. And they only raised females and made them warriors. So Queen Hippolyta had a special piece of armor. It was given to her by Ares, the god of war, because she was such a good warrior. Ulysses wanted the belt. He was going to give it to his daughter. Hippolyta came down. She asked Hercules why he'd come, and when he told her, she promised to give him the belt. She said she would. I guess she respected Hercules. But the goddess Hera knew that the arrival of Hercules meant nothing but trouble for the Amazons. So Hera went down there disguised as an Amazon warrior, saying that the stranger was there to kidnap Hippolyta to the rest of the Amazons. So they all went to war. But when Hercules saw all the women coming in their armor, and with their weapons, he knew that there was an attack. So thinking fast, he drew his sword and he went ahead and just killed Hippolyta. Then he took her belt anyway. And then there was a huge battle where Hercules and the Greeks fought. The rest of the Amazons drove them off, and then Hercules sailed away. So that one was pretty crazy. Um, Hippolyte is how you spell it. All female warriors. Ares. What deity did the Amazons? Oh, Hera. When he saw the rest of the Amazons, he killed her. Alright, so we got two more. Three more. They're quick though. The cattle, the apples, and Cerberus. Alright. The 10th labor, Hercules had to go to the end of the world and bring back the cattle of Geryon. Now, Geryon was this horrible monster. He had 3 heads and 3 sets of legs, all joined at the waist. So he's like 3-headed with 3 legs. And he lived on this island called Eretria, which was near Europe and Libya. So he kept this herd of red cattle. And this cattle was special because it was guarded by the brother of Cerberus, which is the 3-headed dog that guards Hades. And Cerberus's brother was called Orthus, and he had 2 heads, but he was also a dog. Anyway, Hercules set off and started killing a bunch of wild beasts along the way. Then he built actually 2 massive mountains to commemorate his journey. And those mountains are still there to this day, one in Europe and one in Libya. Or some people say he split one big mountain in 2. Either way, those are the pillars of Hercules, which today are in the Strait of Gibraltar and the Med Sea. Alright, so Hercules sailed to Eretria in a goblet which the sun gave him. When he got there, Orthus, to protect the herd, attacked him, and Hercules bashed him with his club. And then the other guy, I guess the herdsman, followed. Hercules beat him up. And then Geryon himself attacked Hercules. And then Hercules fought him off and killed him, shot him dead with arrows. Alright, I think we got it. Alright, what did Geryon look like? He had 3 heads and 3 legs. And then at the waist, Orthus is related to Cerberus. Shot him with arrows. Shot him full of arrows. Is really how they said it. Alright. What did Eurystheus do when Hercules brought him back the cattle? Oh God, of course he let him go, right? Oh no, he sacrificed the herd to Hera. Okay, did y'all see that? Then he brought the cattle garland to Eurystheus, who sacrificed the herd to Hera, which I'm sure Hercules didn't feel too good about, because he don't really like Hera, because she's trying to kill him, because he was the illegitimate son of Zeus. Alright, so the apples in Cerberus. Let's read the rest of these questions. Why did Eurystheus make Hercules do 2 more labors? To whom did the golden apples belong? What guarded the golden apples? How did Hercules defeat Antaeus? How did Hercules help Prometheus? Who eventually got the golden apples for Hercules? Who held the heavens up while Atlas got the apples? I remember the story now. How did Hercules convince Atlas to take the heavens back on his own shoulders again? What eventually happened to the golden apples? So this is kind of a long one, but I'm going to help you guys shorten it. Alright, after 8 years in doing all these labors, he did 10. Eurystheus said, no, the Hydra and the Aegean stables were not done right because you took money for them, or you took something in trade. Okay, so now Eurystheus says, Hercules, you got to bring me these golden apples. They belong to Zeus, and they'll probably make you immortal. They were kept in a garden at the northern edge of the world. And they were guarded by a 100-headed dragon named Ladon. Okay, hold on. They were guarded by more than one person. They were guarded not only by a 100-headed dragon, but also by the Hesperides, nymphs who were daughters of Atlas. Atlas was the guy that held the heavens on his shoulders. Alright, so first he had to figure out where this garden was. He had no idea, so he journeyed through Egypt, Libya, Africa, Arabia, Asia, and along the way he stopped by the god of war, Ares, who demanded him to fight. Alright, so the fight got broken up by a thunderbolt. I guess Zeus threw it. Alright, Nereus. This is a lot to get through. Hold on. Continuing on his quest, Hercules stopped at Antaeus, the son of the sea god Poseidon, who also challenged him to a fight. Hercules is able to defeat him in a wrestling match. Oh, right. So, Hercules was getting really whooped by this guy, Antaeus. And he couldn't figure out how to beat him. So finally Hercules picked him up, and he realized that if he held him off the ground, that's where the ground got his power. And Hercules held him up on his shoulders, and he just started crushing the guy. And he was able to defeat Antaeus. That's a great one. Alright, so then he got to the Caucasus, where Prometheus was chained up. And Prometheus stole fire and gave it to man. He was a trickster. So every day he had to be chained to that rock, and an eagle came down and ate his liver, and every night it would grow back. So anyway, when Hercules got there, he saw what was happening to Prometheus, and he killed the eagle. So then Prometheus decided he would help him get the apples. And he said he would have to send Atlas to go get him, because Atlas knew the Hesperides. They were his daughters, and he could get the apples from them. But Atlas was already doing something. He had to hold up the sky, and he hated doing that. So eventually Hercules was like, listen, I'll hold it up for you. I'm strong enough. So Atlas gave Hercules the sky. He held it up, and Atlas went to get the apples. He returned with them because his daughters were like, here you go, Dad, you can have them. And then Atlas was like, you know what? I don't really want to hold the sky anymore, so I'll take these apples to Eurystheus. You just keep holding that. And then Hercules was very smart too. So Hercules was like, okay, well, you know what? If you would just let me adjust my back real quick. Can you hold the sky real quick while I fix my back? And then Atlas was so dumb. He was like, okay. He put it back on his shoulders. And then Hercules was like, grab the apples, like, see you. And he just left him there. All right. So Hercules got the apples back to Eurystheus, but they weren't supposed to be his. Eventually, he had to return them back to Athena. Okay. Now we can answer these. All right. Eurystheus said Hercules took payment for two labors. All right. Oh, wait. Who did the golden apples belong to? Let me go back. I think they belong to Zeus. Yeah, Zeus. Who guarded them? The Hesperides, right? Ladon and the Hesperides. Ladon, 100-headed dragon, and the Hesperides, daughters of Atlas. How did he defeat Antaeus? Held him aloft so he couldn't touch the ground. That was a great story. How did Hercules help Prometheus? Oh, he killed the eagle, ate his liver daily. He did that. That had gone on for 30 years before Hercules did it. Who got the golden apples? Atlas got them. Who held the heavens? Hercules. How did Hercules convince Atlas to take the heavens back? He said he had to adjust his back or something. He tricked him. Let's say this. He tricked him, saying, what eventually happened to the golden apples? They had to be returned to. I'm almost done, P. I got one more thing. Uh-oh, how did that happen? They had to be returned to Athena. Alright. Last one is Cerberus. What realm did Cerberus guard? That's easy. What ruler of the underworld finally told Hercules where to find Cerberus? Under what condition did Hades say Hercules could take Cerberus with him? How did Hercules subdue Cerberus? What happened to Cerberus after he was presented to Eurystheus? Okay. The most dangerous labor was the 12th and final. Eurystheus ordered Hercules to go to the underworld and kidnap Cerberus. And he sent him there as a setup because he knew he wouldn't be able to do it. So the underworld was where you went if you died, whether it was good or bad. If you were bad in life, you would go to a place called I forgot what it's called. The good place is called Elysium. And the bad place is called Tartarus. If you were bad, you went to Tartarus. If you were good, you go to the Elysian Fields. And it's all in one place, the underworld, which was guarded by Cerberus. And if you weren't dead, you couldn't get in. All right, Hades was the god of the underworld. His wife was Persephone. Cerberus had 3 heads. He was a vicious dog. He didn't let anybody undead, into the world of the dead. He had 3 heads of wild dogs, a dragon or a serpent tail, heads of snakes all over his back. Some people said he had 50 heads. Okay, so his parents were a monster, Echidna, a half woman, half serpent, and Typhon, a dragon. Even the gods of Olympus were afraid of Typhon, so he must have been fierce. He had some kids. One's called Orthus. That's Cerberus's brother. Alright, so he had already dealt with his family before. He had killed Orthus. He beat up Geryon, or he killed Geryon. He already strangled the lion, which was also the brother of Cerberus. Alright, so before making the trip, Hercules decided that he should take some precautions. Hercules knew that once in the kingdom of Hades, he might not be allowed to come back to the living. He might have to stay there. So he went to Lucius and saw a priest. And this guy initiated with him some mysteries. Alright, so he went to Tyrannum in Laconia. He made his way down into the underworld through a hole in the rocks. He encountered monsters, heroes, ghosts. Even had a wrestling match. Then, finally, he found Pluto, or Hades, and asked for Cerberus. So Hades slash Pluto, same guy, said that Hercules could take Cerberus with him, but only if he overpowered the beast with nothing more than his own brute strength. So, once again, Hercules got to fight weaponless. Hercules found him near the Acheron, which is a river in the underworld. Threw his strong arms around the beast. Oh, here's what he did. So, to keep from getting bit, he grabbed all three heads at once. That's how he got him. Okay. Unlike other monsters that had crossed the path, Cerberus was eventually returned safely to Hades after he was brought to Eurystheus. Okay, that's easy. He guarded Hades. Hades slash Pluto, same guy. He he said he could take him with him if he could feed him with just his, I don't know how they put it, just his body. And brute strength. Just his brute strength. Strength. He grabbed him up. No, he grabbed him. He grabbed three heads once. Which makes sense. Because if you grab a dog, you're going to want to grab its head so it doesn't bite you. Number 48. What eventually happened to Cerberus after he was presented? He was returned. Alright, everyone. That's how you do this. Now, I'm going to show you one more thing. If you go to YouTube, I want to post this video in your discussion post, but check this out. If you go to YouTube and you watch this video called The 12 Labors of Hercules, and it's by Ted Ed, and it looks like a little 8-bit video game. It's pretty. Let me just show you what it looks like so you know. This will actually help you out a lot. Anyway, watch this video. This will help you. Okay. That's being said, I am done. I'll be on a Google Meet if you need me.